Welcome to the Manuchehri Show, where energy and medicine meet. I will be your host for the next hour. I have over 19 years of healthcare experience and began my career as an
Dr. Northrup, we're just starting the show, okay?
Working as an oncology nurse at a Seattle.
Hey, we're starting the show right now, Doctor, okay?
No, that's
Can you hear
weird.
me?
I've got it's
All right,
unmuted. We're live on YouTube, and I can't hear anything.
Transformative for you as well.
Weird.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome.
Wait a minute. Now I can hear you.
Just outside of Seattle,
Okay.
in lovely South Bothell. And today I get to do one of my favorite things. I get to interview someone who I believe is on the leading edge of thought. And today I get to interview, for my second time actually, is Dr. Christiane Northrup. She is the host of 8 public television specials and the author of numerous books, including the New York Times bestseller, Women's Bodies, Women's Wisdom. All my daughters love that book, by the way. Goddesses Never Age. A board-certified OBGYN, Dr. Northrup has been featured on the Oprah Winfrey Show, The View, The Today Show, and Good Morning America, among many others. Dr. Northrup stays in touch with her large community worldwide through Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, monthly e-letters, and her website, drnorthrup.com. And she's here with us today, which is very exciting and wonderful. I'm loving, it's a 4th edition, The Wisdom of Menopause. How exciting.
Well, it's been a long haul since the very first edition, and here's what I can say. You know, when you write it in the moment, so the first edition came out in 2001, in a way, you put those ideas that are kind of leading edge out there, like the FSH, LH, and the brain thing. And then over the years, you see how much they do indeed hold water. You know, when you look back, you know how life can only be lived prospectively, but only understood retrospectively. So that's how I feel about this book and the new edition, which is, you know, it's sort of, I call it the post-Me Too edition, where we...
What I love is it continually gets updated with knowledge and wisdom and, you know, and awareness and spiritual aspects, which are so important.
Well, that's really the big,
right?
That's the big deal. Like, it's the grow or die phase. Frankly, I think humanity is going through perimenopause at the moment.
I think that's a really great way to describe it, actually. I mean, even the heating of the planet, right? We can certainly relate that to menopause and perimenopause. That's very exciting. We're so blessed to have you on the show. And thank you for doing all the wonderful work that you've done for so many years. You're just devoted to helping humanity expand, and particularly women, which is lovely that we have, you know, an intelligent, well-educated, and spiritually aware person, a physician, who is devoted to the expansion of women. So thank you so much for your tireless work. And what I love, too, is that it brings you joy, obviously.
Yes.
You know, which is a win-win combination.
Well, you know, really the only thing that brings us joy at the end of the day is assisting others, growing in community, and our own growing edge is our own vulnerability. You know, so one of the things I'm telling women to do now is sing.
Oh, I mean, like take singing classes or sing in the car or the shower or, you know.
Any of it, because what I was noticing is that I had lost my singing voice, or I thought I had lost it. So I'm listening to a friend of mine, another doctor, sing on Instagram, Desperado. And I thought, man, that took courage. That really took courage. Now remember that the 5th chakra here, where so many women have thyroid problems, but this is where the will is, and it's where creativity is. And our voices have been stifled for centuries. So if we can just sing along. Okay, so I was just singing along in the car, and I wanted to get some oldies. And one of the ones that came up was Blue Velvet by Bobby Vinton.
Oh my gosh.
Probably heard that one like forever ago, but it's easy to sing to.
It is easy to sing too, because we know the words, right? Like we
exactly right.
Well, you're speaking to my heart, Dr. Northrup, because I believe the throat chakra is the most powerful vortex in the physical body. I truly do. And it, you know, aligns to the 5th dimension, which is where our magnificence is stored and our life purpose. And so, and thyroid medication is the most prescribed medication in the United States. You know, so yes, you are, of course, as always, speaking to, you know, my delight and my enjoyment.
That's great.
So
That's great.
in this book, you know, you talk about, you know, well, of course, this book has already inspired more than 1 million women and has dramatically allowed them to change their life to be happy and fulfilling and joyful. But you talk about, new up-to-date information about hormone testing and hormone therapy options and research. One of my favorites, how to lose weight by training your mind to release those extra pounds, because I truly believe in that. And the new insights on the relationship between thyroid, Hashimoto's disease, and Epstein-Barr syndrome. So if we could maybe start there, of course, interject at any point things that are bringing you joy that you think are more important or just as equally important as these
Well,
topics as well.
it's interesting because there's that group that say all you have to do is do things that bring you joy and all the rest of it, and the rest will be fine. And then there's the other thing that if you want to get bigger muscles and get stronger, you actually have to work out. And
Right.
the truth is that both of those are true.
Agreed.
Both of those are true. So when it comes to the thyroid, I really truly believe, and that whole thing about, thump your thymus, that, when we say, oh my, oh, whoa, we're literally increasing the energy in the thymus gland, which is the immune system. But when we sing, and really it doesn't matter how you sing, where you sing, what you sing to, there's toning. I've just been interested in the work of David Sarita, and he does the 432 hertz and teaches toning and says that the DNA heals at certain tones. So I think that this is very important, but it starts with just humming. It starts with just starting. And many people, just like with sports, many women have been told, you're too clumsy, you throw like a girl, or we've been told you can't sing, so you don't get chosen for the chorus, and they stick you in the back and just mouth the words because you can't. So everyone has these things that they have to alchemize and heal from. And as you go back to do this healing, which is what menopause actually is, this perimenopause, it's a time when all the unhealed, unfinished business from the first half of your life comes up to be healed, and the brain is with you on that, because in the face of catechol estrogens, which you get from unopposed estrogen and skipping ovulations and then having a lot of stress, cortisol, epinephrine will literally take excess estrogen down the metabolic pathways and make it into another stress hormone. So all these women are having problems with sleep and sweats and weight gain and you name it. And then all their relationships come under a microscope. Do I want to be in this marriage? Do I want to be in this job? And like I said, that's happening for the entire planet at this point. And so anyone, I want to congratulate any woman going through perimenopause right now, because you're doing double duty,
Right?
double duty.
Along with having a job and raising a family and keeping a home and cooking and shopping and all the things that women, feel responsible for and tend to take the lead role in their family
Yeah,
lives.
that's right. But the most important thing that you can do, and it'll change everything, is to carve out, even if it's 15 minutes of time just for you. Your children will be happier. What's the worst thing that a woman can do? Turn into an angry martyr. Then nobody wants to be around her. The kids don't want to be around her. And all she has to say is, I need help. You'd be amazed what kids are willing to do when you say, look, I need help with this. And make sure that, because here's what it was for me going through the perimenopause, that I'm suddenly trying to write at that time, Women's Bodies, Women's Wisdom. And my kids are always, when's dinner? And I'm thinking, you're 16. I mean, come on. But I had created that. I want to be clear. I had created that. I felt so guilty for going to work every day that I made sure that when I was with them, I was with them. And, and I overindulged them and did all the stuff that you do, of which you don't need to do. So, kids can be learning to do laundry when they're 7. I mean, come on.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah. But we don't do that. So what happens is it all comes piling up around perimenopause. And then, it's sort of the last straw. You just say, okay, I'm done. I don't want to be here anymore. You lash out at your husband, your kids. you are changing, but the only thing that's changing is that the dictates of your soul are coming up, and they will no longer be pushed
They
down.
can't
And
be
we call
repressed.
that, and we say, oh, that's just my hormones, so just take estrogen and you'll be back to normal. No, 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 no. You've got to see it as the mind-body revolution that it is. And when you do that, your hormones will naturally balance. Now, I don't want people to suffer. So you can do bioidentical hormones. You can do like Pueraria mirifica, black cohosh,
Yeah.
essential oils. There's so many things. And okay, so people want to know, what should I do? It's going to be really individual, because many people do well with one thing, but
Right.
not with another thing.
Right.
So go with what feels right. Let me tell you what I would avoid, though. I would avoid the synthetic hormones, the ones that are from, well, it's not synthetic. It's Premarin is a native hormone. If your native food is hay, it's pregnant mare's urine. So
Right. Yeah.
I wouldn't do horse urine. I would do bioidentical estradiol with a little bioidentical progesterone. The formulary pharmacies, by the way, who've been doing this for like 30 years, are now unfortunately under attack from the FDA. They've been doing this beautiful job, individualized, estrogen, progesterone, maybe a little bit of
It's hard
testosterone.
to do, and they have perfected the art, and it
Mhm.
has worked extremely well for many people. I chose not to do any hormones, but I fed my adrenal glands, which really helped the rest of my hormonal system, but I wish I'd started in my 40s. That's what I wish I'd done. I waited till I was 50, something, and, so that was, harder on my body, but I wish I had started much sooner. So
Yeah,
you
but you did it. I mean,
yeah,
because
I figured it out.
the adrenals and the ovaries are
Right.
so in sync with each other. So when a woman enters perimenopause with adrenal burnout, she can't make the DHEA, that is the mother hormone that then the other sex steroids will be made from. And it's interesting, don't you think, that the Institute of Heart Math has done that amazing study where they showed that just being in the heart and breathing in the heart
Mm.
increases DHEA in the adrenals.
That
I mean,
is amazing. I
yeah,
think that's why the pelvic floor belly breathing exercises that I do make me so happy, is they're probably helping that DEH, that you were talking
I
about.
think so too. The other thing that I've recently really gotten into is squats. And I don't mean just, like hovering over a chair, though you might want to do that at first.
Initially, yeah.
That's really good. But now, like, literally working down so that I can get lower and lower. I will never have the 2-year-old squat, where you just sit on the beach.
Well, you
I
don't have
miss
to.
that.
You
But I
that's
wish
okay.
it is, but I wish that, like my little granddaughters, I want to say to them,
Aw,
do this every day. Don't ever lose
aw.
this.
Oh, oh, well, congratulations on your beautiful grandchildren. So what is the Puera mirifica that you brought up that I'm not pronouncing correctly? What
Okay.
is
Yeah.
that exactly?
Pueraria mirifica is
Mhm.
an herb grown in Thailand, and it's been used for 700 years by both men and women. There's a red type and a white type. It's sometimes called Thai kudzu, and it contains the most potent phytoestrogen known to man.
Wow.
And so I was so impressed with it because I was introduced to a vaginal gel with the Prairie Mirifica, and I knew that that needed to come to market. And that's a story in and of itself, because
I
when
can
it
only
started,
imagine.
the FDA said, well, anything that goes in the vagina is a medical device. Okay, come on. It's an herbal cream. And then I thought, okay, guys, line up over there. You've got to register with the FDA. I mean, it was ridiculous. But
Oh,
anyway, what we found is, and you can see this in PubMed, that the Pueraria mirifica, the mirasterol, which is the active bioavailable estrogen, does not sit on the alpha receptor. It sits on the beta receptor. So it's not a growth hormone. In other words, it's not going to cause abnormal growth in the uterus or in the breasts.
which is
And
important. Right.
and it re-estrogenizes the whole vagina. It seems to have some effect on the brain, because many times in 4 days when women are taking the capsules, they'll sleep. They just, wow, I'm finally sleeping. So it is an adaptogen. It's like
Right.
all plant medicine, it's an adaptogen. So if you don't have enough estrogen, your body feels that it has more. If you have too much, it lowers it. But that's in the herbal, naturopathic, adaptogen, tonify realm. It's not like Western medicine. It's not like pharmaceutical medicine, but we import the herb. You've got to get the right species, and it's got to be grown in the right place, and it's wildcrafted over in Thailand. I went over to see where it was grown, and it turned out that it was in the jungle right next to where those boys were all rescued from the caves. You
Oh,
remember
yeah,
that
yes, I
story?
remember, of course.
That's a miracle story.
A
Wow.
miracle story. Probably
Yeah.
a lot of women were praying, and sending positive, beautiful energy, maybe toning. I'm a toner. I tone with all my clients.
Oh, I
Sending
love that. That's
right,
great.
sending
Yeah.
beautiful waves of positive energy because it was a miraculous rescue. I mean, there was one person who was rescuing people who perished and lost his life, but everyone else survived, which you absolutely incredible.
Yeah, it was. So when I was sitting there in the forest visiting the herb and it's grown as an underground tuber, but we were right there in the shadow of this mountain that is in the shape of a woman. And
Oh my
they
gosh.
have an ancient thing about this, that the children were rescued, and it's some ancient fable that I don't know, but it's in the Thai culture
Oh, that's
that
beautiful.
yeah, because the minute the last child was rescued, suddenly the caves just flooded totally. I mean, it was like at the last, it's just hard to believe.
Hard to
So
believe.
anyway, I was very happy that I got a chance to finally go there, meet the wildcrafters and all of that stuff. And then what's interesting about the herb, there are many different sites, and if you Google it and all the rest of it, you'll read all kinds of stuff. One of the things that it was first popularized for was to increase breast size. So I ran
Oh,
across some of the strangest videos I've ever seen where
oh my
women were like,
gosh.
working, but what that's about, it really doesn't do that. It doesn't do that. But what it does do that's interesting is it inhibits the collagenase enzyme so that you don't break down the collagen in the
Oh,
skin, in the
oh,
breast.
oh,
So therefore, we also have some skincare products because of the stuff on your skin. And we all know that by 17 beta estradiol, if you put that on your skin, it
right.
thickens the collagen. This does it, but by a different mechanism. So it's an option for many women. Many women say to me, well, I'm already on an estrogen and progesterone. Can I take this? And I say, well, you don't usually just need one or the other.
Right.
So what you should do is introduce this first for a month and then slowly wean off the other, because remember, one is on the alpha receptor, the other's on the beta receptor. So you want to have a thing where you're decreasing this while you're increasing this. So the body is never in a shock state.
By the way, your skin looks gorgeous.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Looks gorgeous. Looks gorgeous. So that herb or that antigen can be found in terms of the right type from your book.
Yes, absolutely. Or, amatalife.com is the website for that particular, and Amata means ageless in Thai. So
Ooh.
AMATA, Amata Life, LIFE.com. And then, that I've got a little video of myself telling the story of going to Thailand and how I came across it and all the rest of it. But again, I would say most women love it and do great on it, and some do better on the bioidentical hormones. And then there are those who swear by the essential oils. There's Dr. Maritza Snyder. I was just on her podcast, and she's got a whole book on essential oils for menopause. So I want women to find their thing. I think one of the things that I have been teaching forever here is that inner wisdom. Inner wisdom. At the end of the day, you don't want to constantly be going to experts. You want to say, this is what I want. This is what I'm going to do. This works for me. I'm not going to do that. Most of Western medicine is built
I
on,
know.
you
One size
know,
fits all,
yeah,
which is
that's it.
not true. That is not true. And that's one of the reasons why I love your book. I love all your books. I love everything that you teach us because you're encouraging everyone to find the wisdom within themselves. And we are different creatures based on our emotions and our belief systems and the way we run energy in our body and our cellular memory and our previous lifetimes. We are unique, bioidentical, interesting creatures. And so we are. And so when we can have the freedom, especially by someone like yourself, an expert in modern medicine and in the science, but also fully aware of elevated consciousness and all the realities that do exist for humanity, then we can be free, to choose something that is in our best interest and rely on it and trust it. Because also you bring the great properties and the healthy reasons why we can choose the remedies that you recommend. Yeah, it's wonderful. It's fantastic. So I have a question, kind of off, it's on the same topic, of course, but you say that women can have amazing sex, in their 60s and beyond, which I agree. I am 60 now, and I agree with that statement, which is so interesting that people, for whatever reason, and that there's all these myths that women or people in general decline in their sexual activity and don't enjoy sex or they are not orgasmic, and that is completely not true.
Oh, it's completely not true. In fact, what happens though, and this is important, is that women going through perimenopause very often, remember, I've said all relationships are put under a microscope. So if they have been allowing a partner to use their body like as a drink of alcohol, like a bottle of beer, just for release, then very often a woman will say, that's not for me, that I can't do this anymore. She realizes that sexuality and spirituality go hand in hand. And that's the only way you're going to have the best sex of your life, is to realize that those two things are highly correlated. And it's not just going to happen with the hookup culture, the Tinder swipe left. I mean, it's not going to happen. You need to, and this is the beauty of perimenopause, you need to begin to respect this temple. It's not, we've gotten our worth as women by how we looked, how young we were, all the rest of it. But when you tap into the gold inside, that's why I wrote Goddesses Never Age, that none of that matters. None of that matters. And so you find that the body's capacity for orgasm is actually increased. And you do have to pay attention. What happens to many women, especially if they've been raped or sexually abused, they literally shut down the lower half of their bodies. And you've seen that. It's like they live from the neck up.
Right.
And that's not very helpful. So you need to renovate, as it were, or reclaim your sexual self. But that's your essential sexual self long before you may have been raped, or long before you've been in a bad relationship, or long before. And the beauty of, again, the perimenopausal transition is that the biology is set up to do exactly that. But the data that I am quoting there is from Gina Ogden's incredible sex survey out of Harvard, the ISIS study, and that came out long before ISIS was a terrorist group, integrating sexuality and spirituality. And it's a huge survey, bigger than the Kinsey study. And while I'm on that subject, it turns out that Kinsey was a major pedophile. And when you do a deep dive on the Kinsey report and all of that, it'll kind of make your hair stand on end. So women's bodies know this. And when you, and here's the other thing.
And that's why women need to write about women's bodies.
And
and
yeah, exactly. Although I will tell you, the keyed in men who really honor the feminine and really love women, they know when a woman is ovulating. They know how to support her. I've been astounded. The men who are tuned in, you've heard the term animal husbandry, or just the name husband. Keyed in men who are good men, and that's like not narcissistic. That's about 1 in 5 is a narcissist. Avoid them, please. But I know when I'm talking to you that there's a couple out there who are married to
Oh,
narcissists.
yeah, there's a few out there that are married to
There's a few, which is
right.
why I wrote Dodging Energy Vampires. But a good man wants to please you.
Absolutely. That's what I tell all my clients is that a wonderful man, when it comes to having a wonderful life together and incredible sex, will be thrilled and exceptionally turned on when you are and
Yeah,
you are satisfied and will wait for you to have many moments of satisfaction before he allows himself to be satisfied as well. And
that's right. In fact, many men find it more pleasurable
yes,
to observe your pleasure than their own.
I agree. I mean, those are the healthy, relationship men that you want to have.
That's right.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes, I
yeah.
agree completely. Yes,
All
100%.
right.
And it's not every guy, and not every man thinks that way, but that is the healthy because men can be pleased a lot easier than women. And so when a man can wait and enjoy that and feel they're so proud of themselves too, which I adore. I think that's
Yes,
precious.
yes,
Like, oh my
that's
gosh,
true.
honey, yay, you did it.
I
They're
know.
so
I
happy.
know. That's
Right.
right.
And it's a beautiful experience. Yeah, it's lovely.
I think it's great.
Yeah, Benny, our audio engineer, I think he's blushing just a
Oh,
tad.
I love the conversation, but it's like, hey, what's up? High fiving it. And I'm
Yeah,
like,
yeah, exactly,
right?
exactly.
Sweet.
Dr. Northrup, you are a joy. I just appreciate you so much and all the work you've done in the world and all the work you're continuing to do, and even going back and making a fourth edition to your book, because I know that takes time and energy. And so, thank you so much for respecting all of us and our uniqueness and wanting us to be our full and magnificent selves. I truly, truly am a fan. So, thank you so much. We wish you a beautiful day and for coming on the show and spreading your love and your joy and your happiness with all of us. And I'd love to have a chat with you again. We can talk about all the other questions that I didn't get to, like Botox and that muffin
Okay,
top and all of those things. And
great.
But the muffin top is the best part.
uh, spoken like a man who loves women.
That's
So
right. That's
pure.
great.
Thank you so much.
You're so welcome. Thank you. It's been a pleasure.
It
All
was love.
right.
Have a great day.
Yeah. Bye-bye.
Bye bye. And we're going to take a break here on the Marie Manuchehri Show. We'll be back in just a little bit.
Cool. All clear.
Thank you. That was so fun.
Yeah. Sure. Is she still there? Is she off?
I think she left. Yeah, she's
Okay.
off. She's so lovely. I just adore her. That was so fun. Wasn't that a fun conversation? It was so nice to see her, Benny. Thank you. That was so helpful. And welcome back to the Marie Manuchehri Show. We're live here. We just finished our interview with Dr. Northrup.
Sweet lady.
So sweet.
Man.
And I don't, not everybody got to see her like I got to see her,
Yeah.
right?
No, on YouTube they did.
Oh, on YouTube.
Yeah,
oh,
it was
great.
about. That's why
she looked gorgeous.
the random moments of chaotic cameraness that I was trying
oh,
to
I
manage.
didn't know that. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll work on technical
I just
things
really
later.
love that.
It was my first time. Okay,
You
time,
did
everybody.
great. You did great.
Thank you.
And you know what I love too is because I got to see her, and most of the time
Yeah.
when I'm interviewing people, I don't get to see them. They're on the phone, and it was just so nice to make eye contact and just see her happiness and her joy. It was what a pleasure. What a great.
It was all
fun
on a call,
experience.
all happening at the top of the hour, trying to get her on the line.
Oh,
we
you did a
weren't
great
seeing her,
job.
and we were
Thank
trying to
you.
get the phones for the show. We didn't want to lose
Thank
you
you.
people because we're taking calls right now at 877-825-8828.
Oh my gosh.
I know. And then I forgot which camera we were on. And so
I love it.
You'll go back and look at it on YouTube and like, I'm getting a little sick here. Like, why is the camera moving
the
all over?
camera's moving,
It's all over the place. You see up my nose probably. I mean, it happens.
That's great.
877-825-8828. And we'll start things off and we'll take Renee calling in from New York. Hi, Renee.
Hi, how are you guys?
We are great, Renee. What can I do for you?
First of all, I just want to say thank you for this platform, right, and letting us all kind of tap into you. I really appreciate it.
Of course. It's my pleasure.
So really quick, I had something happen recently that felt very weird, and there was definitely some energy going on, and I've been racking my brain to figure out what it is. So I live in New York City, right? So there's a lot of different characters, right? A lot of strange things happening.
You know, one of the things I love about walking the streets of New York, which I haven't done in a few years, is, you can just be as wild and crazy as you possibly want to be, and no one cares. It's really fascinating.
No one.
Yeah, no one.
But I cared to say. So just randomly, there were two, I don't know if they were homeless or mentally ill, but for whatever reason, during the day, two people I encountered were on the corner, and they for whatever honed in on me and said something, right? I don't even remember what they said. It didn't necessarily make sense, but I just thought it was odd. Why are all these mentally ill or homeless people having conversations with me today? So I remember saying you know what, the energy feels really weird. I should just go home. Right. So I go home, I get into my building, and I'm in the elevator bank, and this older lady, again, now she starts to talk to me. And I'm like, what is this?
And that's the other thing about New Yorkers. They don't want anyone to talk to them, even though they live in the most crowded city, one of the most crowded cities in the world. That's hysterical. Yes, go ahead.
So she's like, oh, do you know such and such? And I could tell she's a little off, and I'm like, my God, I'm trying to run from this energy. What is it? So anyway, the elevator comes. She goes into the elevator, and I'm like, oh, no, it's fine. You go head up. I'll wait for the next elevator. So I wait for the next elevator. 3-4 minutes comes. I get into the elevator. Marie, when I get off the elevator, she's standing in front of my door. So to be clear, there are 30 floors in my building. So the idea that she got into the building, hit my button, and then when she got off the elevator, she could have went left or right, so she's standing in front of my door. So I'm walking, and I'm really anxious, but not from a fear, right? I wasn't afraid for my life, or didn't feel evil or menacing. It just was really weird. So as I walked to the door, I'm like, what is happening? So I put the key in. I don't look at her face. I don't say anything. I just put the key in. And so as I'm walking through, she goes, mi amor, right? In Spanish, my love, right? So as I turn around, because I'm about to close the door, and she starts to speak in Spanish, and I don't understand her. And then she kind of points into my house, to my apartment, can I come in? Can I? And I said, no. And she was almost surprised. She goes, no. And I'm like, no, And I close the door and I lock it. And then I stand there and I look at the peephole, and she just as quickly and as easily, she just walked away.
Yeah.
It was nothing.
It's
Never spoke her again or anything. And
it's because
I don't know what that was.
Your energy was very inviting.
Welcoming. Yep.
Yeah, very welcoming and inviting, as Benny said. You were in a very high vibrational place, and people were attracted to you. This happens to me all the time, by the way.
And we're both attracted to you right now, too. That's why you called us, right?
Right. So it just means that your essence, your inner light was showing, and it's very attractive to anyone, actually. But people who are a lot of times people who have mental illness, I'm not saying that the Spanish-speaking woman had mental illness by chance, but the other people that were on the streets, they don't look at the world like everybody else does. They're looking at things kind of from a multisensory perspective, because they're not even caught up in the regular, normal day-to-life experiences. They're not paying their bills, and they're not buying food. They're in a different, reality, if you will. So, yeah, they're attracted to you. It's a compliment, by the way.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, and you did the right thing. I mean, yeah, we don't let strange people into our houses. Like when people come to my house to try to sell me a product, they don't want to leave when I open up the door, even though I've told them I'm not going to buy their product. And I know they do this to everyone, but I think they do it to me a little bit more, because they can feel my energy and it's inviting and it's compassionate. And
Okay. So just
yeah,
think of it as like
it was a
you're doing something
compliment.
that's opening, but it's not.
Yeah.
Okay. I got
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Well,
Great
thank you,
question.
guys.
You're welcome. Have a beautiful day in New York.
You too.
Okay.
All right. Bye.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Bye. That was a great
That
story.
was cute. Very fun. Adorable.
She sounds
Yeah.
welcoming. I'd stand in front of her door waiting
of
for her to let
course.
me in.
And she was saying, my love.
Right.
My
I would
love.
totally
I
be saying the
mean,
same thing.
How sweet is
She's
that?
like, you got to go.
Exactly. Just like the guys who are
Yeah.
trying to sell me something that I already have that I'm happy with and I don't need it to change companies.
Right.
Leave my front stoop, please.
Yeah.
Yeah, please.
Oh, all right. 877-825-8828 is the number. We'll take now Naomi calling in from the Seattle area. Hi, Naomi.
Hi, how you guys doing?
We are great. What can I do for you, Naomi?
I'm just calling to get just kind of a general reading.
Okay. General reading. Well,
Yeah,
first of all, okay.
I've had a couple of issues that have
Okay.
presented themselves.
Well, first of all, you have really strong, powerful energy. Did you know that?
Yes, I
Yeah,
do.
I mean, you can live in New York happily.
I actually was born and partially
Ah,
raised in New York.
a lot of times when I'm, because when a client is having a first time appointment with me, I don't know who they are or even where they are in the world. And as I was drawing out your energy, it is exactly how I feel when I talk to a New Yorker. Like I'll draw out the energy. I'm like, oh, this person probably lives in New York, because you have a really strong force, but slightly different because you're not excluding people from your force. You let them in to a certain degree, more so than more New Yorkers, probably because you live here. And Seattle people don't really invade other people's energy, not easily anyway. So the only thing about having a strong force of energy is it can make you tired because you're kind of pushing your energy out. It can actually even weaken your immune system. Not as I read your energy, I don't see like a seriously weakened immune system, but it can make you fatigued. Does that make sense?
Right.
Have you been tired?
Okay.
Hello? Have you been tired?
Interesting.
Hello?
I'm sorry.
Have you been tired?
Yes, a little bit, not extremely so. Because this is a pandemic, and
Right.
what else do we have to do besides rest?
I know. And now that I'm starting to get a little bit more active, I'm like, oh wow, like I haven't been doing all of this extra stuff. Now I'm like doing a lot more extra stuff, and I'm really loving it. You also have a leak in your root chakra. So what I'd love for you to start telling yourself is that you're safe. Maybe make a what if question. What if I'm perfectly safe? What if everything is working on the right track? What if I'm in alignment? What if things are just working out fabulously? That's what I'd love for you to do.
Okay.
Okay?
Definitely. All
Yeah.
right.
And that will just like solve some of these little things that have been kind of making you curious because you'll get
Right.
more energy moving into your body and things will easily resolve. You're a really good healer. So I think you're welcome. Thank you. Thank you. And have a gorgeous day.
Thank you. Just say that.
All right. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thanks, Naomi, for joining the show out of Seattle, the local area. That's where we are.
Yes.
877-82.
And it's gorgeous today.
It's getting there.
I know. It's
burning
really
off
pretty.
just a little
I
more.
actually had to water my lawn and all my plants yesterday.
The one that's still growing. Lucky.
Oh, yeah.
See what you did there, Marie.
What happened to your lawn? I totally forgot.
I don't want to talk about it.
Because, after the
It's so
radio,
bad.
because you
So
killed it.
I did on
So you-
accident.
you-
I don't want to bring it up.
I think you actually have to take it all out.
No.
Yeah.
I don't
And do you
money
have
for
a
that.
really big lawn?
Yeah, kind of.
You can just rent one. One of my girlfriends once, because in my old house, I decided to take out all the lawn and just plant plants. And so we rented this thing. She drove it. I picked up all the sod. I mean, it was hard work.
I know what you mean.
Yeah. And so she cut the sod with this machine
Mhm.
that she sat on, actually. And then I came behind it and rolled it all up. And then one of her friends had a truck that we used. And then I guess we took it to the dump. I don't know what we did with it. But I think that's what you're going to have to do is have the sod removed and then just reseed it. But you might have to wait a period of time. You need to look at the
Okay.
bottle that you used and find out how long you have to wait before you can grow new grass on there.
There's still some green left.
Is there? Okay, that's good.
It's
that's
like
good.
it's like a terrible haircut. Like it's not even bad. It's terrible.
I think it's pretty cute.
It's like bald patches all over.
Well, that's
so
maybe
bad.
it's not as bad
I'll
as
take
I
a
think
picture and
then.
show
Yeah,
it to you.
take a picture.
It's
Let me
so
see.
bad. I'll
Okay.
cry like taking the picture. At the same
I know
time.
how much you care about your home and your environment, so I'm sure this is bothering you.
The bright side, though, is the front looks amazing.
Oh, well, that's all that matters.
But I don't sit in the front.
Well, maybe you should get a chair and start sitting in the front. Maybe you'll just,
I will do that.
In my neighborhood, we have HOAs, and they don't care what you do in your backyard, but your front yard has to look good. It even has to be edged.
Mm-hmm.
My person who helps me is coming on Saturday because I just ordered new compost, and he'll make everything look gorgeous.
Pretty.
Yeah.
All right.
Who do we have next?
Yeah, we'll take Danae, who's calling in from Traverse City, Michigan, I believe. Is that right?
Yeah.
Hey, cool. Hey, Danae.
Great. What can I do for you, Danae?
Hi, Marie.
Hello. How are you?
I'm okay.
Okay. How's Michigan?
It's sunny today. So
Oh,
that's nice.
lovely. Lovely. What can I do for you?
I'm graduating pharmacy school tomorrow.
Oh, congratulations.
Yeah.
I'm so
Thanks.
proud of you. I'm so
Thanks.
proud of you. Congratulations.
And I don't know what to do next.
I I know. Because even though you're this, well-educated, incredibly intelligent person, you don't fully believe in modern medicine, right?
No, I don't.
I know. That's one of the problems that happens when, you're this super intelligent, want to make a great career for yourself, start school. It takes a numerous amount of years and you change, right? You change. But I mean, we just interviewed Dr. Northrup. You get to do what you want. I mean, obviously, I think you're going to go and get some experience, and then maybe you're going to figure things out. Maybe you'll become an herbalist.
Yeah, that would be nice.
Wouldn't that be wonderful? So I want you to value and appreciate the knowledge that you've received so far. I can't tell you, although my family, I did it backwards. Like my family is so holistic. They were like, what do you mean you're going to nursing school? They were not happy at all. Still to this day, my siblings, except for one, don't trust me. Even my mother doesn't trust me. I spent 45 minutes to get her in the car once to go get some antibiotics because she had bronchitis. And she finally relented and got in the car because she couldn't breathe and she was coughing. And she, hates doctors. She really does. And hate's probably a strong word, but she doesn't like them. And she had to tell the doctor that was taking care of her, who was wonderful, in great detail, that she doesn't take any pharmaceuticals. And she's like 85. She doesn't take anything for blood pressure or cholesterol. It's wonderful. She did have to take the antibiotics, though, which one of my brothers was furious out that I even took her to the doctor to get antibiotics. So I was backwards, right? Like I went from where you want to be, but not in the craziness, to modern medicine, which gave me an incredible appreciation for modern medicine because they do cool and wonderful things. And you already have that. I want you to enjoy it while you're working in mainstream modern medicine because herbs can't do everything. And some people do need acute medicine forever or temporarily while they hopefully then find out holistic resources. And so I just want you to know you're going to have a great career. You're going to do fantastic. You'll be a leader in your field and you will combine the two knowledge bases that you have and use it extremely well to help people make excellent choices. So I'm very happy for you.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, so don't worry about it. You know who you are. That's great. Good for you. Congratulations. And you will figure out a beautiful way to combine them. Okay?
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Congratulations. Enjoy your success. Okay? Okay.
Okay.
That was adorable, right?
You're going to do just fine.
She's going to be great.
She'll be just
So
fine.
I probably went on too much about my own thing but just to let her know that
But
you
it
can
shows
make it work.
reassurance, for her on your storyline. So it's okay.
And you know how many clients I get to talk to who've had surgery or they're on certain medications, and I know what they're talking about because I've heard about it. I understand it, and that helps me to lead them in a healthy way to what's next. Yeah.
100%.
So it's a good thing.
Sounds good. All right. 877-825-8828 is the number for the show. We'll take now Michael calling in from Scottsdale, Arizona. Hi, Michael.
Hey, thanks for taking my call. And I have to say, Traverse City, Michigan, the Santa Barbara of the Midwest.
Really? I didn't know
It's
that.
amazing.
You hear that, Danae? See? You hear that,
Yeah.
Danae?
You know what? I think that's where Misha did a internship on an organic farm in Michigan. She said it was gorgeous.
Cool.
It reminded her of some places here on the West Coast. So what can I do for you, Michael?
Well, I appreciate the getting my vagina talk out of the day, my quota for the day while I was on hold. I appreciate that.
Hey, we all need some of it, okay?
I don't necessarily have to seek that conversation for the rest of the day, so I appreciate it.
Thank you so much for listening and enjoying it. We
Yeah,
really
we appreciate it.
Appreciate that.
I bet you learned more than you needed to know.
Yeah, right. Yes, exactly right. Exactly right. So I've got a friend. She's moving to Tucson, and there was talk in the beginning that she's like, "Hey, you don't really have much going on. Why don't you move down there with me?" type of thing. And I was like, "Yeah, I don't have anything going on, so it's just like, why not?" And then I also have another friend who's in LA, and she's trying to get me hooked up with her boyfriend for a sales position type of thing. And I was just kind of curious, kind of what you see in and around all that.
And so you're talking about moving and maybe changing career.
Correct.
I mean, I do love Scottsdale, honestly. It's a nice area of Arizona. It's really nice. I like it a lot.
I love it too. And so it's just one of those things of more of where I know people type of thing than
right. Okay.
I'm new to the area.
Okay, so you have more friends in the Tucson area than in the Scottsdale area?
Yep, and then more friends in LA than I do here in Arizona.
Yeah, I do like LA for you, honestly. Quite frankly, I do like LA for you. Do you have more friends in LA than even Tucson?
Yep.
Yeah, I do like LA for you. It fits your energy and the pace of your cadence of how you move your energy. It fits you really, really well. And I do think that people there are looking out for your best interests and are very excited about who you are and what you do. Tucson would just be more laid back, more relaxed, especially if you can be just outside of Tucson and in the mountains. That would be lovely, more relaxing, not quite as hot in the summer. But you have to make that decision, right? About do you want more of a low key experience or you want a high paced moving experience? Which one do you want?
Ultimately, I should just buy a van and
go back and forth. Why not? I think that's a great idea.
And, that type of thing, and just
actually, Michael, I agree with you. I feel like I don't want you to make a permanent decision right now. So if you can kind of move around a little bit and have some fun, I think that would be best.
Yeah, no, and again, I agree with that 100% because I've literally 2013 moved from Michigan to Arizona, and then was in California, Ventura, Ojai area for 3 years, and then went to Vegas, which was awful, and then just recently moved back here.
Right.
And but it's always that. Oh, what's next? What's next?
Yeah, it's really okay to be kind of a nomad these days because most people don't have to go into the office anymore, or even if certain companies start to open up the hallways, people have choice and options. So you have a lot of flexibility. I think you can take some more time, but LA is brighter, just so you know. Okay?
Interesting.
Yeah, I know, right?
What, California crushes commission and bonus on the taxes.
Oh, so the taxes take care.
It's brutal.
It's brutal. Well, you don't have to move there, right? You don't have to. You can have your address wherever you want it, and you can just go back and forth.
Perfect point.
Right?
Perfect point.
Yeah. So I just think you can continue to experience this and enjoy this until something is so clear for you that you go, oh, yeah, this is where I'm going to make some home base. But you don't have to right now.
That's really interesting that you put it that way because I basically because I just got a puppy and my 14-year-old shepherd mix passed in January.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
And so, but basically internally, I said to the universe, when I'm ready for another dog, somebody will just out of the blue give it to me.
Aww.
Because I made it so restrictive that for my way out.
Right.
And literally one of the maintenance people where I currently live, she's like, my daughter's dog just had a puppy. Do you want one? Because we know how well you take care of yours. So I'm kind of doing the same thing with the next direction. It's like, listen, punch me in the mouth with it, so you get my attention. and we'll go in that direction.
Yeah. And, wherever you are, you just need a backyard, and dogs like to travel, and they like to move around. They love people.
As you should know.
Yeah. I mean, Charles,
he's a mover and a shaker.
He is. He only got one walk yesterday,
And
but he
he
got
is
2
upset.
card rides.
Oh,
Got
yeah.
2 card rides and some treats and his face out the window.
So he's covered.
He's covered. Yeah.
Okay.
Tomorrow he'll go to doggy daycare. Okay. Well, thank you, Michael. I hope that's helpful, and we wish you the best in your kind of nomad experience.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Have a great day.
Thanks, Michael. You too. That was great. Great call. 877-825-8828. We only have a couple of minutes left in the show.
Aw.
Yes. Oh, did you have something to say? Or you?
Oh,
No, you
I
did?
actually do.
Oh.
My assistant, Jen, she prints
Did
out.
amazing today, by the way.
Yes, she did. She helped me a lot, very much, as always. And she prints out things for me to pay attention to and bring up on the air. First of all, we will be, if you're interested in taking an energy healing coaching class or any other coaching classes, you can write into the office and be put on a waiting list. We will have those up very soon on the website. Just because we get a lot of inquiries about that. And the Healing Touch 4 Corner Summit is coming up, virtually held May 20th through the 22nd. You can still go if you want to go ahead and get some discount. You can still do that. You can go to my Facebook page or Instagram pages, and there's more details to take advantage of the early bird status. But we did, Benny. We gave 2 tickets, 2 passes
From last week's show, yes.
From last week's
Great.
show to the Healing Touch 4
Good.
Corner Summit, where I gave a talk on the power of healing is in the subconscious mind. That'll be available May 20th. And the people that got them, we call that, thanks for writing in a Rate Scale the Summit with Marie contest. Congratulations to our 2 winners, Machi, I believe is her name, and Michelle. Oh, and Michelle. So thank you both
Machi and
of
Michelle.
you for
Great.
winning. Congratulations. We're very happy for you. And so is the Healing Touch 4 Corners Conference for offering these free, beautiful tickets to this virtual summit. It's very exciting.
Great.
Yeah.
Cool.
Okay.
All right. We have time for maybe one. We'll sneak
One
into if we can.
more.
We'll see. We'll see.
Okay.
Is it Corinne or is it Corinne? Corinne from Chicago?
Yes, correct.
Corinne from
hi.
Chicago. Hello. What can I
Hi,
do for
Mary.
you?
Hi, Benny.
Hi.
Thanks for taking my call. It's so nice to be able to talk with you.
Of course. What can I do for you?
I'd love to hear what you feel would most benefit me to know at this time. And of course, I would love to hear about my spirit guides.
Right.
too.
So it's your spirit guides. They are talking to me up a storm right away. And that doesn't usually happen because I talk on behalf of spirit guides. But occasionally, like in your case, they're like front and center. Like you must have given them some orders because they are right there. So you have 7 spirit guides per my perception. And the number is important. It means that you do need to spend more time in meditation and quiet and become more present. Does that make sense to you?
It does and it does not, because I've started meditation 6 months ago. And at this point, I'm meditating almost daily, twice a day.
Okay. Do you really let go of your mind when you do it?
Sorry, say that again. I couldn't hear you.
Do you really let go of your mind when you do it?
I'm trying.
Yeah. So that's the hard part,
I'm
right?
trying.
Yeah.
Right. So,
It is so hard.
okay. So here's what you need to do then. Consider doing Qigong instead. You can look it up on YouTube, find some videos, or order, something from someone that you enjoy. But Qigong is meditation and movement. So you
Okay.
need to have movement when you meditate for you. For now.
Okay.
That doesn't mean it's always going to have to be that way, but it's just hard for you to turn off your mind. It just is,
Okay.
right? So people who have 7 spirit guides, it's the highest spiritual number for Earth, means you're very, very spiritual, and that a lot of what you'll need to move forward in your life and to make your life so incredibly fulfilling is going to come from the spiritual realm, not from the human realm, but from the spiritual realm. It will be extremely supportive and beneficial for you, but you have to get your mind out of the way so you can let the information to come through. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Right. So try some Qigong or
Okay,
even
well,
some yoga. Do a pose that you really like and hold it while you let yourself feel your body. That's a really great way to get out of the brain, is to feel your toes, feel your muscles as they're contracting when you're doing a yoga position or relaxing. Be in your body, far away from the gorgeous mind. Okay?
About 7 months ago, when I started meditation, I had what I would call a non-ordinary experience that really led to this whole thing. Do you see anything there?
What did you call it again?
And I was actually
a non-ordinary?
Non-ordinary, yes, encounter. I was actually dancing and meditating at once.
Movement for you is huge. So because you 7, again, you have this beautiful connection to the spirit world. It's natural. You were born with it and you need it. So you let go enough that you had a multisensory experience, which is normal, especially for you. Okay?
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you for calling in. Have a gorgeous day in Chicago, one of my favorite cities. And thank you, everyone, for watching Dr. Northrup. We so appreciate her presence here on the first half hour of our show. And thank you for calling in. And thank you, Benny and Jen, for making sure that everything runs smoothly. Have a beautiful day, everyone. Bye-bye for now.